Good morning, friends. Today I am going to take this session on the current affairs. As we started the current affairs session, guys, yesterday we have discussed about the Supreme Court's verdict on the Hindu Succession Act. Okay, so that is its amendment 2005, and what is the judgment of the Supreme Court that we have discussed, and about the world's first solar summit, and after that we have the International Labour Convention that we have discussed about number 182. Okay guys, like that we have made on the AP Chief Minister's initiative on the cyber security, that is E-Raksha Bandhan. We have discussed all those things. So now I am going to take the few current affairs for today's discussion, guys. Start with the first topic, that is the reservation based on place of birth. Guys, this is in current affairs because it says that the reservation based on place of birth. So this have made by the Madhya Pradesh government. Okay guys, Madhya Pradesh government. So Madhya Pradesh government have came with an initiative to make changes in the law, that is to have reservation based on the place of birth. Based on the place of birth, that is the Madhya Pradesh government, guys. So if you see what are the provisions that we are having regarding the place of birth, so what exactly they want to depict means the children of the people. So that is the one who is going to take the jobs in future, they want to give the jobs to them as depends upon the place of birth only, guys. So this is affecting the very spirit of the democracy, guys, very spirit of the constitutional part, because it is affecting the fraternity. It is affecting the fraternity and the equality and the justice. So that is the whatever the aim that we are having in the preamble, it is affecting. Because so if you see article 16 guys, article 16 we are having equal opportunities in public employment. We are having equal opportunities for public employment in article 16. So whereas if you see article 61, we have the same in respect to the employment and the appointment. So with respect to the employment and the appointment, we are having the equal opportunities to every citizen of the India. So with respect to the employment and the appointment. So and if you see 16.2 also says that there shall be no discrimination. There shall be no discrimination on the grounds of religion, race. Okay, on the grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth, or so place of birth. This we have in the article 15 also. But what special in article 16 is they have included two more discriminations, that is place of birth, residence and descent. Okay, so depending on those, they should be have no discrimination for the public employment. For the public employment, that is the religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth, residence and the descent. No discrimination. So if we see the provisions and if we see reservation based on place of birth, we have place of birth in this. Guys, this is exactly discrimination of the things. But if you see the in favor of the article, if you see in favor of the article, we have that is article 16.3, guys. Article 16.3. So article 16.3 says that there will be provision regarding for the how some percentage of the seats can be made to the state government. So depending upon the residents. So actually the residents also is not included. Actually the residents also comes under discretion only. But article 16.3 we have some exceptions for that. We have some exceptions to give the priority to the stakeholders. Means as I said that the place of birth is different from the residence. Okay, like recently the Andhra Pradesh government have came with the 75% of the jobs for the residents only. So for the residents we have some exceptions, but the place of birth is going to affect the equality, guys, equality of the people. But this is about the issue on the article 16 and in favor or in the against. Okay, so thus actually constitution prohibits the place of birth or the residence or the descent, guys, or the descents. So if you but why they are giving for the political reasons, they are giving for the political causes, or otherwise if we say the positive vibe, then it says that for the development of their own state, like that they are giving, but it is against the constitution, guys. This is about first article. Supreme Court now I am moving to the second one. Supreme Court says no need for CAG to audit PM CARES fund. Good decisions, guys. So if you see what is PM CARES fund, we have PM CARES fund, we have CM CARES fund. So what is meant by PM CARE fund? So PM CARE fund is a voluntary contribution by the citizen of India. If you want to donate, you can donate. Okay, that will be used for the development of the state during any disaster items or during anything. Okay, that will be used for the people of the citizens, guys. So as this is in the issue, guys, this is in the issue because they have no transparency of the PM CARES funds and the what. So from where the money are coming and to where it is going, we have no transparency. That's why it has in current affair. And finally the Supreme Court says the verdict that so no need to audit. Generally, whatever the funds that we are having, there will be auditor, guys. That is CAG, Controller and Auditor General of India. But it says that no need to go for the audit. It is the Public Charitable Trust. Supreme Court pronounces that it is the Public Charitable Trust. PM CARES Fund is the Public Charitable Trust. No need to go for CAG audit. But now we need to discuss about the NDRF, National Disaster Relief Fund. So this Supreme Court has pronounced that you can also voluntarily contribute to the NDRF and no need to transfer the money from the PM CARES fund to the NDRF. It is also separate section. If want to contribute, you can contribute to as in voluntarily, and no need to go for a special section in the PM CARES fund for the COVID-19. Okay, guys, this is about the Supreme Court pronouncements or the announcements regarding Supreme Court. So now the PM CARES funds is all not to be audited by the CAG. That is second issue. Third question: which of the following ministry is responsible for launching Atal Ranking of Institution on Innovation Achievements? ARRIA. So very important question. These are the type of questions that will be asked by the UPSC. So as the question said, which of the following ministry is responsible for the launching? So which of the following ministry is responsible for launching this Atal Ranking of Institutions on Innovation Achievements? Guys, if you see this type of things, you should go for the current affairs, guys. So if you are not aware of the things, then you should answer in a diplomatic way. Guys. Okay, you should use your dimag. So see, guys, Atal Ranking Institution Innovation Achievements. I think this is somewhat related to education, right now. So now we need to see the answers. So if you see the answers, we are having the Ministry of Youth Affairs. So Ministry of Youth Affairs also it may be taken, guys. Science and Technology, okay. Ministry of HRD, the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. So the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology mainly deals with any application of the internet sources. Any application of the internet sources, like we have the e-Raksha Bandhan, as I said in the STL. Okay, the e-platforms will be mostly of the electronics and information technology. But as it says, it is the institutional base. Institution means with respect to the educational part. So with respect to educational part, is the Atal Ranking of Institutions on Innovation Achievements is this. This is about education part. So this is a ranking given by the Ministry of HRD. Ministry of HRD. So Ministry of HRD go for ranking of this for the systematic arrangement of the higher educational institutions. So depends upon the startups and the entrepreneurship developments in the institutions. They are going to rank the higher educational institutions, guys. Okay, this is about the Atal Innovation Institution rank achievement. So now the Ministry of HRD have been replaced with the Ministry of Education. So finally the President have given his assent. So no more from the Ministry of HRD, it is the Ministry of Education, guys. So through this we can try to answer this type of questions. Very important. So now I will move to the next topic, that is National Recruitment Agency. So the cabinet have given the nod for having the National Recruitment Agency for the government jobs, for the government exams. So this will conduct a single preliminary exam to take the aspirants into the jobs. They go for the single examinations. So if you see the single examination, what they will include the SSC, Staff Selection Commission, IBPS. IBPS means that is about the banking. So banking personal services. Okay, so SSC, IBS, so whatever the so whatever the exams which are having for different, so till now different, so different posts will be having different exams, but they are going to include into one, and they are going to recruit, they are going to conduct by the National Recruitment Agency. So what are the benefits with this? So with this, it will ease the process, of the conducting exams, recruitment, and the giving the result. After that, it will also bring the transparency. Transparency also will be done into the exams, guys. Okay, this is about the National Recruitment Agency. The government has given the nod. Okay, government has given the cabinet government has given the nod. Okay, so the last topic for today's discussion is Supreme Court orders CBI investigation in Sushant Singh Rajput case. Guys, I don't want to take this entire case. Just want to know what exactly CBI is. What exactly CBI, guys? So for any investigation, the investigation starts with the state police. State police. So what happens? So if the state police are showing partiality, if they are showing any partiality, and you are feeling that the judgment are not up to the mark, then you have the right to go for the CBI. CBI means it is an independent. It is an independent investigation body. It is an independent investigation body. So the CBI won't consider the state, all those things. They will take it as a piece. They will take it as a piece and go for the investigation of the things. So finally, Supreme Court orders the CBI investigation in Sushant Singh Rajput case. That's why if you see, guys, many cases will be with respect to the CBI, because CBI is an independent body. He don't consider, this body won't consider, well, this state or that state, that person, this person. No, guys. Finally, they will investigate in the case and they will submit the report to the concerned authority which are required. So if this CBI comes under the Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievance and Pensions, very, very important. The Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievance and Pensions, very, very important. So like this, so finally CBI is going to take the case of the Sushant Singh. So anything will start from the state police. If you are feeling that the state police are not giving the required judgment, or the one which you are feeling, then you can go for the CBI. CBI is the Central Investigation Bureau. Central Bureau of Investigation, guys. Okay, so this is about the CBI. So CBI has formed that they will take the cases of the special cases, economics cases, fraud cases, any corruption cases will take the case. Okay, guys, this is about that is today's discussion, current affairs topic, guys. Okay, thank you one and all.